Hey guys, welcome back to the Thought Bubble Podcast. My name's Emily. Today I kind of ordered new sunglasses, prescription, because I can't see at all and I need to be able to see when I'm outside in the sun for once. Let's introduce us. Let's see who's on our left.
Hi, I'm Leanne. Drinking this Smirnoff ice cream apple and it tastes delicious. Who's over there to the right?
Hi, so I'm Melanie. We're all drinking the Smirnoff apple. Today, I was getting ready for this, doing my makeup, listening to Drake, of course. So it was that old Drake song with T.I., So You Fancy, Huh? And I was getting ready, and he's like, you know, nails done, hair done, everything big. You got that diploma, you got that house. I'm like, oh my God, is this me? I was like, these past 10 years, this song's been out. I've been subconsciously just trying to get ready for this one song. Like, nails done, hair done, graduated, getting a house for real. Like, it's crazy.
In your head, I need to do this for Drake.
I
need to do this for Drake.
Like, I don't know, like 12-year-old me knew. It's like, yeah. I have to. I gotta do it to him.
Yeah, and that's the kind of like throughout our lives we have a bunch of goals, and today we're talking about college life. Woo! Fraternities and everything. None of us did that, but we did have the experience of college life, and that's kind of what our whole podcast is going to be about today. Mm-hmm. So we got a bunch of questions to just ask each other, to reminisce about the past, and like
the past. It was it wasn't that long ago.
COVID made things seem so long.
For me, it was like 84 years ago.
Yo, dead ass.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
So we graduated in May 2020. Me and my sister did not get graduations, but Melanie did.
I did, in the middle of a pandemic.
And so we all have kind of like experience through our 4 years, but our college life really ended to a freaking screeching halt.
Yeah, honestly. I think I think a lot of people have, I think this is an interesting conversation for us because, a lot of people's college, stories are like, partying, fraternities, and all three of us really didn't do that. But like,
big time.
That's not like a description for, like our college life. It was still a college life. Like, if like we
the struggle was always real.
Yeah. It never stopped being real.
It just kept peaking as he kept going.
Yeah. I think like we had a very different college experience, and I think it's important to talk about because I feel like people go into that and some people get scared of that. He's like, what if I have to party? I don't even fuck with that. And I like partying, but not too much. Like I knew from the get that I wasn't going to be going to parties all the time. I think we went to in college like twice?
Maybe twice.
Like twice, and I wasn't a fan. I just felt like I didn't really fit in, and I also like it was like I don't know. I wasn't like I'm just so like weird and like it doesn't like no. It's not. It's more like I felt like it wasn't my scene. I don't know. Yeah. I like being home.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a lot of people's fears too. Like, what happened if I meet no one in college and I'm gonna be all alone? Especially if you like commute and you don't dorm, or like if you dorm.
Yeah, or you went to a college far away from where you usually.
Exactly. Like the biggest thing is being lonely. Like no one wants to be lonely in college. So we have a bunch of questions here. So
let's get it started. I'll read it since it's on my side.
Let's just kind of like delve into it.
Let's get it started. So we'll go one by one. So I'll say the question. It can go from Melody to me, and you can just answer your own answer for it. Okay, so the first question that we have is, what was the adjustment like from high school to college?
For me, I feel like it was boom, boom, boom. I graduated high school. I was 17, had like my permit, didn't even know how to drive yet. Mm-hmm. I went into college. I was still 17, had my driver's license, had a new car, had to go somewhere I'd never been before, and just like learn all these new things. Like we went from like a small Catholic high school.
It wasn't small. What are you talking about?
I mean, compared to public school.
That's true.
Yeah. And then you go to like a public university. I don't know anyone. I don't know anything. I had to download the map, look at that map like 10 times. I didn't want to get lost.
You went to a really big school too.
Yeah, went to a big
like
college.
on a mountain. Her school was on a mountain.
I had to leave an hour early so I could get there.
Oh my God.
Get the parking, get the shuttle, walk to the building, get to the room. Big transition from high school.
I think for me and my sister, we went to kind of like a smaller school.
Very small.
It was almost like a community college, when it was still private, and like it celebrated religion, but like all religion. So there was two churches, but like they they had spaces for every religion to practice.
Which was nice.
So yeah, which was nice. Like if you were Muslim, they had like little times and like a little bell, like, oh, this is the time to pray, and they would go.
I didn't know that.
They did. I remember it was near the. I remember because they would like, you know, oh, we do this for religion, and they also had the mental health stations where like,
I remember that.
if you're stressed, you can talk to us, or you can do like the wax dipping thing, which we did once, and it was really soothing. Like you get the hot wax, and they have like the wax.
It's not real wax. It's
like the paraffin or
Yeah,
something.
the paraffin.
Yeah. Okay.
So for like relaxing, they like set it up in one of the places, and it was really convenient because I just saw them like, oh, let me do it. You just put your hand in there. It's so amazing.
I've done that at the nail salon.
Really? I've never done it. Honestly, I was like, this is bullshit. How is this gonna help me relax? Like I was, very skeptical, like this is dumb. I'm stressed. And I did it, I'm like, this is amazing. And then you got to play with like the excess and squish it.
It makes your hands soft.
Yeah, really. Our college was definitely really small. I think
our college was super active though.
It was. Yeah.
It had events for every day of the month. They had full every month they would send out a calendar, and every day there was something.
I feel like every college is like that though.
Yeah, but it was cute what they did. I feel like they really cared. But honestly, for me, like the transition from high school to college, I don't know. For me, I didn't really feel. I feel like the only difference was that I got to be home earlier, or like for longer. Like I think the biggest transition was the way I tackled homework than how in high school. Like high school was very like not to say that college isn't like repetitive. But, like, for college, like, you pick when you go into class. You pick the time. You get to pick what, like, I commuted. So I got to pick when I got up and went to school. My college was only 10 minutes away. So I would wait till, like, the last second to leave. And I would always make it on time just because I was so close and I drove.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think for me, I just felt more free to be able to go home and do whatever I wanted instead of having to stay in one place, until, like, my parents picked me up or the bus.
Yeah, it was. I think in school, I know the bus sucks, but I think our high school was college prep too. Yeah. So it was very like get this information, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Like we had a schedule in high school too. Like we had like syllabus, like a thing, and it was so like to the letter. Yeah. And so I feel like college was just like it was relaxed in a different way. Like it wasn't because we were preparing for college, and now that we're here, you just gotta pass. You just gotta get the diploma. So
you know what I was expecting in college?
What?
To like find like the love of my life.
Really?
Because like my parents met when they were in college.
That's cute.
I was like, maybe I'll meet someone. Did not work out. Yeah. But I'm antisocial, introverted.
I think we all are. It's just not
I was hoping I'd make more friends.
Yes. I was hoping you'd find a love. Really? Yes, finally. Something, please.
I was hoping we'd talk to more people, but like our school was so small, and like we did talk to people, and but we didn't become friends. Like nothing blossomed. Like no friendship.
I think for me, I was like I wanted to be friends, but I mean, to be honest, we stopped that from happening ourselves in that. Excuse me.
You didn't like anyone. You hated them. She would be like,
that's fact.
They would be like, oh, we're doing this. I'm like, oh, maybe we should do that. Yeah. And then she's like, no. And she would be like, ugh. I'm like, why? They're nice.
No, it was more like I just like there was some people that I didn't like. I did not like. I just didn't like the vibe. I think it was just the vibe from these people because
we were in the art department, so our whole building we were
the art kids.
Yeah, so, like,
the art kids. Some art kids can get a little weird. So like for me, the vibe was just off, and I wasn't comfortable with it. Also, I wanted to go home. Yeah, like I was excited. The second class was over, I wanted to drive home and be home.
Unless we were eating out, then it's like, all right, go home.
But then like even then, once class is done, I want to go eat. I want to go see my friends. I didn't want to stay in the building at all.
My headphones were on the minute the professor stopped talking. I was like, all right, Bluetooth connected, we're on, we're gone, we're done. I'm leaving. Don't talk to me, don't look at me.
Exactly. I just want to get to my car and leave. I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to talk about the assignment. I don't want to do like, and it's I am a pretty social person. I like to talk to people. I like being with people, but for some reason in college, it was when I was just like, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I want to do my work and leave.
I think be out.
Yeah, we were pretty approachable. Like people would come approach us, and we were in the arts department, so like we were never with like everyone that we met was like for the arts, like either game development or modeling or something like that. So
3D modeling, not like modeling like for photography.
And there would be people that were in for modeling or photography, and then so like every time they came up to us, it was relevant. Like let's talk about this. Oh, how do you feel about art and stuff? But like a lot of the people there were, I feel like. they had their own squads already.
Yeah.
Like a lot
That's
of them.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
When we went there, it was like everyone already knew each other.
People had people.
I think it was from like the people in the town, like they were just like in the around the area.
And honestly, like we could have easily integrated into their system, but like
That's if you want.
yeah, and they were also a lot of them were also a little bit nerdy. And like the more we got into school and like we saw these, because we like it was a small school, we knew what they were making. Yeah. And we saw that a lot of them didn't try as hard as they could have, and that made us even like, why do I want to be friends with someone that doesn't want to try?
I think that's why I didn't like anyone, because like I would see the amount of effort from these people like through our assignments, because we would always in art school, you know, you make your assignment and you always critique it. We always all look at everyone's, then we critique it. But it's just like the quality of work they were making, like they weren't even following the minimum guidelines, and that would make me so bitter and angry.
And we knew what they were doing outside of class. Because a lot of our school had a lot of lounging areas where and a lot of TVs. So like I knew what they're doing. They're playing Smash in the room next door.
They hooked up the TV. They're playing video games. Like they're listening to music. They're not doing the work. And then they have the audacity to be in class and be like, "Can we get more time?" I don't know.
Or give excuses like this was actually really hard.
Yeah,
like actually.
Oh,
or any pet peeve, like they thought it was too hard and every time I wanted to be like, I think you should do more, I don't think this is tough enough, they'd be like, why are you asking for more work? It's like, bitch, we're in art school, the only way we're gonna get better is if we push yourselves.
Challenge yourself.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah, and I think that's why, like, for me, like, even, you know, it wasn't like they were bad people. They were very nice. They just didn't try as hard as I did. And it's not like someone has to be, like, at my level. It's more like I just wanted to see that effort from people. And I feel like I didn't. And so immediately I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. You don't even put effort into your own work. This is our future.
And it's like, it made me even mad, like, especially if they gave only excuses every single time.
I wanted to fight them hoes. I'm sorry.
Every single time there was an excuse. And it's like, come on, every time you can't just own up once. Just be like, I was unprepared. I'm sorry. Be mature. A lot of them were.
So, what do you think was your hardest class?
For me, there was this one class, the only class I ever dropped in my college career. It was like a finance theory class, but it was very intense in theory. So I didn't even sign up for it initially when I was like enrolling in what classes to do for the next semester. The professor just kept hitting me up. Like, he was just so consistent. Like, during the summer, he would just send email after email. I would delete them. He somehow got my phone number, and he just called me one day. He's like, yeah, I think you'd be really good for this class. Like, you did really good in so-and-so's class. Like, you should really, like, do the class. It would probably benefit you for, like, your career. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I'll give it a shot. Had changed my whole thing. And I get there, I'm just like, I don't know what this man's talking about at all. Like I know, I guess, like, practical finance, but he's just going deep into the theory. It was like he was trying to get us ready for, like, grad school, because he was, like, a grad school professor. But, I mean, none of us are going to grad school. Like, there was one girl there where she actually was in grad school. I don't know why she was taking this class.
In grad school?
She was already
Well, in college?
Yeah.
What the heck?
I don't know. But this man, he was too much. I felt like the dumbest person in the room. Like, I had to drop the class after maybe like 6 weeks, like when they give you that deadline.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. I don't want this to, like, hurt my GPA and just, like, make me stress out over doing all these case studies that nobody even knows what he's talking about. There's, like, maybe max 15 of us in that class, maybe 3 girls in that class, like, overall.
Oh, no.
It was wild. I remember dropping that class, and then I would see the other kids in that class in the next finance class. They'd be like, so, like, what happened? Like, why don't you show up anymore? I'm like, I dropped that class. Why would I take that stress? Why would I hurt my GPA just for this one class when I could just drop it and then I'll just go home in the middle of the day?
Yeah, it'd be nice. That's nice.
That was crazy. That man was too much.
That's crazy. I think for us, the hardest class we ever had was it's a program called Houdini, and so it was like, you know, like a basic introduction to the program.
Yeah, it was 3D program.
It was a 3D program, and it was more like procedural, and that, like, it was more like coding instead of like actually manipulating like a 3D space.
Oh boy.
You were just doing a lot of coding to manipulate the space and all the stuff in it, and that was so hard because for me, like, I was so used to the 3D programs being like manipulating it like kind of manually, and to do everything through coding, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, he just
that's like manual. That's like the base of the code. Like
you hacking in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like it was so hard because it was like all you had to really do was just put in a certain code in and then make it and manipulate that code and then it does it. Yeah. But I just couldn't wrap my head around it at all. And like he'd be like, all right, here's all the steps. Here's what you have to do.
You just have to copy and paste them. But like there was a lot of branches that you had to understand. Like you have to understand like doing this made this happen. And it was like super in depth. It was more in depth than any 3D program that I ever used.
It was crazy.
It was to the point where like it was like stick shift. It was between stick shift and like manual.
Like automatic.
Yeah, automatic. Yeah. So like it's like I'm used to automatic and then now I'm all of a sudden in stick shift. It was like so technical. It was too much.
It sounds more like computer science.
It was an amazing program. Cool. I wanted to learn it because it was cool. What it could do was so powerful. Like big movie companies use it. That's why I really wanted to use it. But
it was so hard.
It was so hard. I felt like an idiot. Like most of the classes I could get the hang of it if I really practiced. I would go and practice and I literally did not know what to do to practice. I would put in the code and be like, well, now what? Like I just didn't know.
You like just I lost.
I couldn't excel like creatively because I couldn't figure out how to use the tools, and that's what was so frustrating for me.
Sometimes you just don't need that extra stress.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I didn't drop it. I ended up passing it, just fine, and it didn't hurt my GPA, but I felt miserable, like, because I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do the things I wanted. I couldn't do it. Everything I visualized, like, because there's so much possibilities, but it was almost too overwhelming to like even handle, and especially since I'm just not good at that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. I mean, and then that was the only hard class I could ever really think of. Everything else in our classes were pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, easy in a sense that like I understood the assignment.
Yeah. I wish I would like coding or would want to do it because you get money.
I'm just not interested in that.
Oh my god, I'm not at all. But you would make money.
Like I wish I was, but I'm so not. Like the thought of it, I'm like, no, not even.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. When I accidentally click like F12 or something on the keyboard and the coding comes up, I'm like, get out of here. I don't even want to see you. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Even on Tumblr, like when Tumblr first started, you can basically code Tumblr.
I remember that, years ago.
Tumblr to like basically be so like amazing and like personal. Yeah. And I tried it and I was like, I hate this.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Typing in numbers.
That class was so genuinely challenging, but I love going to class. Like classes where like
going to class.
I liked being challenged.
Yes,
like,
creative.
Like I've had classes where like I wasn't proud of my work and it was hard in like an artistic sense. But like I liked the class and I liked the teacher and he taught well or they taught well. So like I think Houdini was the only hardest class. And the easiest class, like what was it? The easiest class was a fucking After Effects class.
Oh my god.
It was like last year. This old lady. It was After Effects. Basically, it's like editing, but like not Premiere, where it's like video editing. Like After Effects is more motion graphics and editing.
Visual effects.
Okay. So visual effects. And it was like, it's like more in depth for the program. I'm like, I know that program. I did motion graphics. Yeah. I liked motion graphics the last time I took it, so I'll take it again. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing at all.
She didn't know how to teach.
Yeah.
She knew the program. She didn't know how to freaking teach, bro.
She did not know how to teach.
Oh my god. Yeah.
No. She'd be like, all right, guys, watch me. She had like projection of her. So this is what I'm doing. Oh wait, hold on, it's not working. Let me try to figure it out. And she'd be like, click, click, click. Click, click.
I would hate having to go there.
I don't know.
I hated the lecture. The lecture was nothing.
It was like an hour of me.
It's worthless,
An hour of me going, just, or me on my phone. And then and then she was so lenient. She didn't care if anyone said anything, and
she knew how bad she was.
Oh my god, she knew, it was so frustrating. Like I don't get why you don't know how to be a teacher. I get that you want to be lenient in that like a program's hard, but like these kids literally didn't show up with anything, and you told them they can come 2 weeks late with the assignment they could do in 2 weeks. They still didn't do it.
So it was easy, but it pissed me off that she was such a bad teacher.
Like Houdini was hard, but he was a good teacher, and I appreciate that effort. I hated the classes I hated were when the teachers were ass or the students didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Like I did good, I got an A, but at what cost? And me wasting my fucking time.
You had to waste 4 months.
Wasted my time,
and I was angry every step of the way because I genuinely tried. I wanted to make something worth it, and it really deteriorated my will to be like creative and like really push myself, because I'm like, why would I push myself? They're getting A's doing nothing. Why should I try? And I hated that about my school. Like junior year, I really had to like fix my mental state in that like I needed to be like, I need to do this for me in my future. I need to stop letting these kids piss me off so much that I'm gonna drag myself down. Because I would genuinely think that I'd be like, why the hell am I spending all-nighters doing this assignment when these kids,
no one else is.
These kids are drawing something on a piece of lined paper with a fucking pencil.
Oh my god.
And they're getting the same grade as me? Like,
I'd be pissed too.
I was pissed. I was angry. I wanted to call them out, fight them, something.
But I wish I did.
Yeah, that's like, I wish I
wish I wasn't a coward. I wish I could could just tell them to our face, like, you're literally
Garbage.
I think the big reason why I didn't do it is because we saw them every single day.
I mean, you had the chance.
Yeah. I didn't want to have that hostile tension every day because I'm like, I'm not in the mood.
Because it'd be every day, like, I see them in almost all my classes, and then I called their ass, like, trash. Or, like, I feel like...
And then next class.
Yeah.
I just had a thought. Remember in stop motion class when that bitch couldn't figure out how to do a fucking box?
I was not there.
In stop motion class, we had to build the set. And for this one assignment, everyone had like their own thing. It wasn't a big set. Everyone just had to make like one thing. Yeah. This one girl, I was like, all right, there needs to be little cardboard boxes because it's like a place someone just moved in. They have stuff in a box. Oh, yeah, so tiny mini boxes. Little mini boxes that are proportioned correctly. I was like, you need to make like 2 or 3 boxes. And she was like, okay, how? I'm like, how? Okay, so
it's a square.
It's so
cardboard,
4 squares, and then 2 squares at the top. You could do 1 square at the bottom and leave the top open. It could be an open box, but that's it. And she was like, okay, but how should I do it? I'm like, maybe she means the materials. I gave her the materials. I gave her a ruler. I gave her like the cutting stuff. I gave her everything. I thought that's what she meant. So I'm like, okay, I gave her everything, and she still for like 2 weeks was like, but how do I make the box? How do I make a box? I'm like, dude, it's 4 sides, top, bottom. That's it.
God,
it is,
and it was irritating.
Maybe 2 or 3 more for like the lid.
And I told her. I remember it was the only hostile like confrontation I had because I remember looking at her like
hostile.
Fam, it's a box. And I remember she told her friends, and like they were in the living room.
We were coming down.
Yeah, they were in like this, not living room. They were like in like the
like a lounge.
Yeah, the lounge. And they were just all sitting there. We were walking past, didn't even look at them. Walking past, they stopped with like, hey, what's up? Talk about the thing. I'm like,
she didn't even do it. She had her friend come up to us.
She's like, hey, so like she told us what you guys have to do. How do you make a box? I'm like, oh my God, no one has a brain here.
Bruh.
Not a single person has a brain.
She said, how exactly do you want her to do it? And we're just like,
I remember me and her looked at each other like, we want you to make the box. 4 sides, top, bottom, box, 3 times.
Tiny. To fit the set. Maybe 3 inches.
Height. I mean, imagine her going to work and they like told her how to do that.
Remember, we left
and oh no, because she had a boyfriend, and she barely a boyfriend. It's like giving us sass. He's like, yeah, but like you're not really telling her what to do. We're like,
make a box.
It's make a box, and I gave you the materials. You know what I did? We had a group chat with all the students. I made her a video how to make a fucking box. I sat down and made a video and was like, hey, here's some cardboard I had. I'm cutting them into squares. I'm making 4, and then
get some hot glue. Get some loose glue if you don't got hot glue.
I don't understand. The patience I had to have. But I remember we were leaving after that. We were like, yeah, and then I guess they better understood.
They're like,
how do you get here?
Because we were giving them straight attitude. We're like, it's a box. That's it.
That's not that hard.
Simple.
Yeah,
and so we backed down. The second the door hit the close, we're like, what the fuck? And like, I remember there was like 2 or 3 other kids leaving that class too. They were in the parking lot, and I remember like, you heard that stupid shit? How the hell this dumb bitch don't want to make a fucking box? How the hell she graduate preschool? And I remember they heard us, and they were dying. Because I've never felt such straight frustration because I can't. The ignorance was too much for me. It was. And I remember the next day she came up to me because she couldn't find her, or she couldn't tell us apart. She was like, I'm really sorry that like I annoyed you or I was pushing too much on the question about the box.
You should be sorry.
And I felt bad for her. I was like,
no,
God. I wish to God it was me. I was so mad when she said she was.
I was like, you know what? As long as you got it, we don't have beef. Like, we don't have beef. As long as you get the assignment done, we just want to make sure you get it done.
I would have looked in her eyes and been like, yeah, you're an idiot.
I would have sent like a YouTube tutorial how to make
I was trying to look for one, and I remember she was asking me, because before I lost my patience, I was looking on YouTube. I'm like, look, I looked up how to make a box on YouTube. Here it is.
I'm just like, Google it.
And I told her to Google it. I looked up spreadsheets. I'm like, look, I took 2 seconds to Google it. You can find it. She said, okay, she didn't do it. What she wanted me to do was do it for her.
You should have been like, make a circle. Make a circle.
Word, yeah. Can you even do that? Can you make a triangle for me?
Like we made a little cabinet because the story was about like a puppeteer and he had like puppets in the closet, and that was almost a box, like 4 sides. Like, look, we made this cabinet.
Some people I didn't have the.
It's just like it's so easy to just like
try.
Like, at least if you don't know it, if you can't understand it, just Google it.
Google's free.
Google's free.
Google everything. Like when I was doing homework for like econ, macro, micro, all the answers are there because every kid before you taking this class has already put the answers on Google. Exactly. It's already there.
Okay, let's move on to another question. Next question is, what were your closest or classes like? Jesus, I'm blind.
Your glasses ain't working.
Yes, you are.
Sorry. What are your classes like? Online, hybrid, studio, lab, etc. So, Melanie?
Yeah. So most of my classes, because they're business classes, was like lecture. Sometimes we would have labs if we were doing like work in Excel. But I mean, I would only have like studio time if I was taking those art classes. Like that pottery class was like 6 hours long. You're getting like clay and dust everywhere.
Yeah, they are long.
What else? I had that makeup class, which was like
yes, that
3
was
hours. I consider that like a studio.
Yeah, that's cute.
But the only lab I ever really had was like when I took human biology.
Oh, wow.
We'd have to like dissect stuff and like I don't know,
really?
look at bone.
I
We had to
didn't know
do
you
like
could do that.
I think like a baby pig or something.
Oh, I
It
did
was
that in
really
middle
nasty.
school.
Okay, that's too much. You see, I was in college. I was ready for that.
No.
Middle school, you're not ready for
I remember there were some kids that walked out. They couldn't do it.
that. Ugh. Yeah,
was
it smelled bad.
Yeah,
It
smelled
did.
really bad.
But there were some kids that were lit. Some kid got the whole brain out perfectly.
Kids are weird.
Yeah, the kids go through that phase of like loving creepy stuff.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I think that was like my freshman year or sophomore year of college. Because, everyone has to take those gen ed. So I was
Yeah.
like, let me take the easiest gen ed. Like,
You know what I think? I think it's bullshit that colleges require gen eds. That's not why I came to college. When I came to college, I think for maybe 1 year, it's good because I know for a
Okay.
lot of people, like especially me, when I went to college, it helped me, not get perfect at what I wanted to do, but it helped me figure out where exactly in animation I wanted to head, go towards. And that helped. But why am I spending all this money to just figure out where I want to go?
you're spending 2 years doing gen ed.
Exactly. 2 years. That's ridiculous.
Some people don't know until like the last year.
No, but that gives too much room to like for people to slack off and not thinking about it.
You
'Cause
mean
that's
like
what people are doing.
undecided majors?
Yeah,
Like people.
like, I
I mean, I guess.
I definitely think you shouldn't be doing any gen eds by junior year. I think that
Yeah.
you should be done, but we did.
They
I
should
think
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I stopped at senior year.
I just think gen eds are like a bunch of like, oh well, you need to we need these credits. It's not like you need to learn. Like we need these credits to make sure that like that we're doing everything right.
But that was my entire last semester of college.
Exactly.
I had to take, well, what is it, like electives, because I already finished all my finance classes by like my last year, the first semester. So I was only taking like 2 business classes, but the other 5 classes were just like religion, art, like I don't even remember what else.
Your school is even worse because yours made it mandatory.
They made it mandatory because I had to reach that credit like requirement.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. College should be for sharpening those skills, not like, oh, we're gonna require this because we want your freaking money. We want you to stay as long as possible
It's
so
a
we can get your money.
state requirement though. Like to graduate, you have to get like 120 credits.
Like, but that's crazy.
But they should just make more classes
exactly.
Towards your major, exactly. More things that I'm constantly learning because there's no way in 2 years I learned everything. That's bullshit.
Still don't know anything.
Exactly. It should be consistent, like how much I'm learning. Like even if you're just having me read a freaking book, bro. Like about at least make it about like what I'm doing
guess,
and we
yeah.
can discuss it.
Give me a study.
Don't
period.
make me take like some stupid yoga class because you need me to.
Yoga helped me though.
I mean, yeah,
My muscles were very tight.
Yoga
They
is
still
pretty
are.
good. What's a useless class like a dance class? Like I don't need to take dance. I mean, if I
like
want to
those
go
classes.
towards dance,
I didn't have to take pottery, but it's like, it was an elective. I didn't have to take that weird art class. So we never ended up doing art in that class because like COVID hit and like the first like 6 weeks we were just watching movies.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Why?
Yeah, for art it's hard.
It's like, why am I spending all this money to do all these things that I don't even need?
I
It
remember we
feels
had
useless.
Yeah, I remember we had to take astrology and I was almost borderline falling asleep.
Every day.
It was so boring.
It was. Like, it's like sad because like I like astrology, but like
Not enough
It's-
for the class.
it's like not. That's like I don't want to learn any of those things. Like
Not
those
for
are,
4 months.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Exactly.
ridiculous to have me, spend like each class is like $1,000, like $1,000 for like one class of your like if you break it all up.
Minimum.
Like, why am I spending this money on something I don't want to learn? I want to learn more stuff about my stuff, even if it's my major. I want to learn more animation. I want to learn more about it, even if it's just like writing essays about it. At least I'm learning about that. Why am I learning about something I don't even want to learn about?
I mean, I think for our classes, because we were in like art majors, we did have majority. If it wasn't gen ed, it was mostly studios. So we did have figure drawing class where we had models and they were naked, and that was fun. I actually really liked figure drawing a lot.
It helped me improve.
That was
so
very
much.
fun.
Send the news.
If you want to improve your art, take figure drawing classes. I know like that makes a lot of people maybe uncomfortable, but it's just someone's body, bro. It's whatever. They don't
You
smell
probably
like
already
anything.
saw it.
They're just naked. They're just, they're naked and they're posing like that. So it's kind of like a little silly because they're like,
Sometimes they have costumes. Sometimes they put on costumes, and it's really nice.
That's cute.
yeah.
Halloween, she specifically.
Yeah, I remember one girl, she was a ballerina and now, like, she's an old lady now. Yeah, so she was a ballerina when she was younger, and now that she's older, she does figure drawing. She brought her little tutu, and it was
That's cute. That's
it was
cute.
so
Beautiful.
pretty.
Her body was amazing, though.
It was. So how was the commute for you, Melanie?
For me, it was I had to wake up 2 hours before class, had to get ready, leave an hour before class, drive there. 46 was always a mess, always a nightmare from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're always doing construction on 46. So finally, my last year, they built like 2 roundabouts, so I didn't even have to go on the highway. I would just go all back roads, and then it would take me straight onto campus, right in the parking lot. It was beautiful, and I only got to experience that one semester. Then COVID hit.
Semester, not even
Then
the whole year.
COVID hit. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and you had to take like a bus.
I had to take the shuttle. So I would get to the parking lot that was at the bottom of the mountain, and then I have to, wait for the shuttle, get on the shuttle. It would be hot or cold. It depends when. Snowing, rain, whatever. Packed with people. It's just like, you know how people are. They don't care. They're on a bus. They'll talk on the phone. They'll like eat, whatever. It's just nasty. I hated that shuttle. Everyone hated that shuttle. I finally get there. We get to the top of the mountain, and then I gotta find whatever classroom it is, take whatever elevator, and just get there.
I remember you told me I remember you were on the shuttle, and someone smelled so much like weed, and
Yes. Oh my God, this kid smelled. I don't remember if he was in front of me and back of me. I remember this kid walking onto the shuttle bus, and I just smelled it the minute he came on. I'm like, my man did not even try to cover this up. He was like, smoked in his room, came out of the dorms, got on the shuttle. He's like, I'm going to class.
And that smell.
Didn't even try to hide it. It was nasty. I bet he was a freshman. I bet. That's just inexperience, not even trying to hide it.
I was thinking, like, the second, like, weed is so potent, like, you will smell that shit a mile away.
I'm sure everyone on that shuttle smelled it.
Yeah, and you were stuck in a bus, and it makes me gag. It makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
Every time I walk, it's in the streets, and I smell it, I gag. Like, I hate that smell. So that would have been my hell.
Listen, smoke, do you, but like, don't bring that shit into the public air. Like, come on now.
That's it. Just air
Even if
yourself
you're going to
out.
class, like, even the professor gonna smell that. Like,
Or, no, they were probably nose blind. They probably genuinely thought like, I'm good. I don't smell.
but that's why I think it was like a freshman. He was probably like inexperienced. Didn't know he had to like change shirt, put like some type of cologne or something for breeze.
Yeah, if you change your shirt, you smell better.
Immediately.
Better.
100%.
And the only thing that was annoying for us was the fucking parking. Because for us, our school was small. So like, if we didn't get to school at a certain sweet spot between transitioning from the people that are in 8 a.m. to the people that are in like 11 a.m., there was no parking. And you had to have a parking pass. And if you didn't have that parking pass, they would ticket you or tow you away. And it was the most annoying thing about our school experience because they did have road parking, but there were meters.
Oh my God.
The police were there waiting.
They got nothing else to do.
No, they had nothing else to do in that like nice neighborhood, just chilling. The second that thing went to 0, ticket. I remember walking to the thing like, oh, we're gonna put more, and there's a ticket. I'm like, already? Didn't even give me like a 5-minute after time.
They got to watch. They're looking. They're like this. They're like they want to ticket you. They're bored as hell.
Oh my! I made me so angry, and I hated getting those tickets. I remember our last year of college, we're like, you know what? We lost our parking pass. I don't know how we lost it. To this day, I don't know how we lost it.
I don't even know where it is.
I don't blame you.
Still don't know where it is. We went to one parking lot station that we knew was there, but like we were always afraid to park there because like what happened if they still ticket us anyway? Our last year, senior, we're like, I don't care. I
do not care.
Fat move.
I will fight a teacher right now.
Exactly. We did not care. So we just parked there and not one single ticket. We parked there for the rest of our senior year until COVID hit and not one ticket. And we were just mad. We're like, we could have parked here because they always had at least 1 or 2 parking. So it was very reliable. Yes. And I just was so mad. Like, why did we become ballsy senior year?
Yeah.
That's how it always happens.
Yeah.
You don't know better.
Yeah, you're just like, ugh, I'm over it. It's my last year. I don't care. I'm exhausted.
I wish someone would.
Yo, word. That was my phrase.
That's still the vibe.
That's still the vibe. Like, I wish a bitch would try me. Please.
That's such a funny statement.
That's like a dream of mine to get like kicked out of somewhere. I said it before. I don't know why it'd just be interesting. Like, get into a fight and they're like, get out of the club. I'm like, get out of Walmart. Like, all right.
Yeah, bet.
Fuck you.
I'll fucking leave. I don't care.
I don't want to be kicked out. That would hurt my feelings.
No, I would. If you wanted to
I'm
fight,
too sensitive. I can't. I would cry. I would cry. I'd be like,
Her face.
I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like,
I would
nice.
drag you like, we're going. We're staying right here. Fuck these. I would be like so feral.
I would be like, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Your establishment is trash.
I would be like so, because I like ever since high school, I wish someone would, because I just want to fight someone. I'm
She wants to be fought. You
fight
heard it here first.
I don't want to fight someone for no reason. I'm not trying to like just fight someone. No, that's ridiculous. I
want
want
a reason.
someone to try me and think that I won't, and then I will. You know, like
Open
that's what I want.
tryouts.
That's what I want. Let's move on to another question. So I think
What about dorming?
Oh yeah.
Well, we didn't dorm. We were commuted. All of us
yeah,
commuted.
we're all
Obviously, all of us commuted, but
Yeah.
we did have like a small experience with like my friends. My friend Jordan, he dormed, and like every year we would go to this anime convention in Boston, and we would like, instead of paying for a hotel, we're like, oh, that's too much money. Let's just stay at your dorm.
I
Bring
did
an
not
air
do
mattress.
this.
No, she did not.
I would never do that.
She would never. Of course, she would never. And
Nasty.
and there's a reason. It's because it's a boys' dorm. They live like trash. They don't do laundry.
And even like without like those factors, the dorms they give you for just students is like
brick ceiling. Like, ugh.
it's like 3 kids in like a small room like this. Like ours, like I mean you can't really see this room, but our room is like pretty like square and small. Yeah. They would fit like 3 people in there. So it's like you had like one like corner. You had your bed, like a drawer, and that's it. You can put anything else, but it was all tight.
It was a terrible.
There was like no room. I don't even know how we had a room. We
we
had
put an
like,
air mat.
5 of you in there.
Yeah, there was, and so we would have to like
God.
schedule, like tell like the roommates like, oh, we're gonna be there, and then he would have to schedule it, and it was just so much work. And like the communal bathrooms also, like there was one good one, but like sometimes they were just like, oh, I wouldn't want to live my life like that.
Like
We were there for a weekend, and I would never dorm. Like that experience of just the weekend of dorming, just be like, I don't want this life.
It was what it was. It was like it made it clear that these colleges did not care. They did not care about these dormings. Like they get all this money, they do not make sure that these students get the best top quality because they can.
They can do it. Yeah.
Hands down, they can.
The fact that I have to pay for the vending machine food is bullshit. That should come with it.
$10K for you not to care about me?
I mean, they know kids are gonna go to Boston to dorm because that's like a thing for people.
Yeah.
Go to a big city, you get that big city life, especially if you're like foreign. You don't know any better.
Exactly.
You just come in there, you trying to study.
Okay, let's move on to another question. Next question is, what were your closest or classes like? Jesus, I'm blind.
Your glasses ain't working.
Yes, you are.
Sorry. What are your classes like? Online, hybrid, studio, lab, etc. So, Melanie?
Yeah. So most of my classes, because they're business classes, was like lecture. Sometimes we would have labs if we were doing like work in Excel. But I mean, I would only have like studio time if I was taking those art classes. Like that pottery class was like 6 hours long. You're getting like clay and dust everywhere.
Yeah, they are long.
What else? I had that makeup class, which was like 3 hours. I consider that like a studio.
Yeah, that's cute.
But the only lab I ever really had was like when I took human biology.
Oh, wow.
We'd have to like dissect stuff and like I don't know,
really?
look at bone. We
I
had to
didn't know
do
you
like
could do that.
I think like a baby pig or something.
Oh, I
It
did
was
that in
really
middle school.
nasty. Okay, that's too much. You see, I was in college. I was ready for that.
No.
Middle school, you're not ready for
I
that.
remember there were some kids that walked out. They couldn't do it.
Ugh. It smelled bad.
Yeah, it's not
did.
bad.
But there were some kids that were lit. Some kid got the whole brain out perfectly.
Kids are weird.
Yeah, the kids go through that phase of like loving creepy stuff.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I think that was like my freshman year or sophomore year of college. Because, everyone has to take those gen eds. So I was like, let me take the easiest gen ed. Like,
You know what I think? I think it's bullshit that colleges require gen eds. That's not why I came to college. When I came to college, I think for maybe 1 year, it's good because I know for a lot of people, like especially me, when I went to college, it helped me, not get perfect at what I wanted to do, but it helped me figure out where exactly in animation I wanted to head, go towards. And that helped. But why am I spending all this money to just figure out where I want to go?
you're spending 2 years doing gen ed.
Exactly. 2 years. That's ridiculous.
Some people don't know until like the last year.
No, but that gives too much room to like for people to slack off and not thinking about it.
You mean
'Cause that's
like
what people are doing.
undecided majors?
Yeah.
Like people.
Like,
I mean, I guess.
I definitely think you shouldn't be doing any gen eds by junior year. I think that you should be done, but we did.
They
I
should
think
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I stopped at senior year we.
I just think gen eds are like a bunch of like, oh, well, you need to we need these credits. It's not like you need to learn. Like, we need these credits to make sure that, like, that we're, doing everything right.
But that was my entire last semester of college. I had to take, well, what is it, like, electives, because I already finished all my finance classes by, like, my last year, the first semester. So I was only taking like 2 business classes, but the other 5 classes were just like religion, art, like I don't even remember what else.
Your school is even worse because yours made it mandatory.
They made it mandatory because I had to reach that credit like requirement.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. College should be for sharpening those skills, not like, oh, we're gonna require this because we want your freaking money. We want you to stay as long as possible so we can get your money.
It's a state requirement though. Like to graduate, you have to get like 120 credits.
Like, but that's crazy.
But they should just make more classes.
Exactly. Major. Exactly. More things that I'm constantly learning, because there's no way in 2 years I learned everything. That's bullshit.
We still don't know anything.
Exactly. It should be consistent, like how much I'm learning. Like even if you're just having me read a freaking book, bro. Like about, at least make it about like what I'm doing, and we can discuss it.
Give me a study.
Don't make me take like some stupid yoga class because you need me to.
Yoga helped me though.
I mean,
my muscles were very tight.
Yoga is still good. What's a useless class, like a dance class? Like I don't need to take dance. I mean, if I want to go towards dance,
I didn't have to take pottery, but it's like it was an elective. I didn't have to take that weird art class. So we never ended up doing art in that class because like COVID hit, and like the first like 6 weeks we were just watching movies.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Why?
Yeah, for art it's hard.
It's like, why am I spending all this money to do all these things that I don't even need? It feels useless.
Yeah, I remember we had to take astrology, and I was almost borderline falling asleep
every day.
It was so boring.
It was like, it's like sad because like I like astrology, but like
not enough for the class.
It's like not. That's like I don't want to learn any of those things. Like,
not
those
for 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous to have me, spend like each class is like $1,000, like $1,000 for like one class of your like your if you break it all up.
Minimum.
Like, why am I spending this money on something I don't want to learn? I want to learn more stuff about my stuff, even if it's my major. I want to learn more animation. I want to learn more about it, even if it's just like writing essays about it. At least I'm learning about that. Why am I learning about something I don't even want to learn about?
Yeah. I mean, I think for our classes, because we were in like art majors, we did have majority. If it wasn't gen ed, it was mostly studios. So we did have figure drawing class where we had models and they were naked. Yeah. And that was fun. I actually really liked figure drawing a lot.
It helped me improve.
That was very fun.
Send the nudes.
If you want to improve your art, take figure drawing classes. I know like that makes a lot of people maybe uncomfortable, but it's just someone's body, bro. It's whatever. They don't smell.
You probably
like
already saw it.
They're just naked. They're just they're naked and they're posing like so it's kind of like a little silly because they're like.
Sometimes they have costumes. Sometimes they put on costumes, and it's really nice.
That's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Halloween, she specifically.
Yeah, I remember one girl. She was a ballerina, and now like she's an old lady now. Yeah, so she was a ballerina when she was younger, and now that she's older, she does figure drawing. She brought her little tutu, and it was
that's cute. It
was beautiful. So pretty.
Her body was amazing, though.
It was amazing.
She was old skin, but like her muscles were like intact. Firm.
Those classes really helped me improve. But
what else did we take?
Stop motion. So I had to and like our whole class.
That was basically like production.
Yeah, we had to make a whole like stop motion project, like 5 minutes.
You have to build the set. You gotta figure out like from start to finish. Write the script, make the storyboards, write out the plot. Give out each roles. Yeah. We gotta build the little puppet things, and that was hard too. Yeah, build all the. We had to workshop those. We had to build all the little props, and we all.
You had to make the background, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
we built that.
And then we have to actually schedule everyone into everyone's schedule. When can everyone actually like do the actual animating?
It was a really good experience. Yeah. Like very, very, very film set. Very. Yes.
And very good experience. Yeah, I love that. But like all of our, because we're art, a lot of our classes were just like Melanie's pottery class, 6 hours long.
It was very.
But
long.
Every day,
it was insane.
All the
classes. That class.
Yeah, every single class was very.
It was very hands-on. After you have
there was some class it was about drawing backgrounds, and we would like go outside and like walk in the streets, and like the teacher would be like, all right, I want you to draw this from this angle.
Yes.
And then we would go outside and do that.
Yeah. We'd always go to the churches because the churches are very like architecturally pretty, and it would always be like, all right, I want you guys to focus on perspective. We want to get like the height, and all in one page, because like you wouldn't think it's hard, but to get everything in one page, it really is hard because you have to figure out depth and everything. And those are really fun classes. Like if it wasn't gen ed, I truly loved going to class.
Those classes,
because I loved my classes. I loved learning. I loved trying those new things. They were always hard, but I loved the challenge.
You know what was another one? We had another class where we had to basically do storyboards. But we had to do animatics.
So storyboards are like kind of like
pictures, like a comic of a roughly
it's like the script but visual.
But we had to do storyboards where it's basically like putting all those pictures, those comics into like into like a program where you make it like a motion.
You edit it together.
But what was cool about it is that we had to record our own audio, and they had an audio like a studio
like a
recording.
booth?
Yeah, they had a booth. They had a booth,
Dang.
and we would go in the booth
Like
and like
professional.
and they had the whole
That's
button.
funny.
That was so fun because like you got in the booth, you put your headphones on, and like you're not a voice actor, but you got to pretend that you were because you had to do it for your own thing, unless you got someone else.
Spitting track.
But it was so fun
the
to like,
mixtape.
it was so fun to like go into the booth with the headphones on and listen to the guy like, you were a little pitchy there. I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna try.
Oh, damn.
It was really
That's
fun. I
funny.
like that one. I like doing like music stuff. That was super fun. Another one that was so fun. Freshman year circus class. Amazing.
It wasn't called circus. It was called, no, it wasn't. It was called motion for animation. It was they masked it as like not a circus class, but everything we did was circus related.
I slightly remember you talking about
What
this.
the class was for us to study motion and how things move and how your body moves.
And by doing it yourself.
Yeah, by doing yourself so that
Oh,
you can learn how
God.
to animate. But all we were doing, like we did the giant, the giant ball that you walk on, like clowns walk on. We did that.
Did that? We did the
The
stilt.
tightrope, we did it.
How?
The stilts, we did it. The miming,
Have no balance.
That's what we learned. That's what he was teaching us about balance and how center of gravity.
We did
That's what we
miming a
learned.
little bit. We did a little bit of stage acting, like, if you want to like pretend to pull someone's hair, you have to put your hand in the fist, put it on the top of their head, let the other person hold it, and then you can go,
Ah,
and
okay,
it
okay.
looks like
Some
you're-
acting.
Yeah,
We did the fake punches. Like,
Getting
that was
your
fun.
core. So why don't we talk about people we liked, maybe made friends in college, the little friends we did.
the little
I don't
friends.
know. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start since I'm at the end. I think, me and still went to the same college. We were always together, so I think our experiences are pretty similar. But we said it earlier. I don't like anybody. I didn't like their
Mood.
vibe. I said it before. Like I didn't like their vibe. I didn't like their energy. People that don't try just put me off. But there were a few. Like there was one girl that we liked. I think we didn't really connect in that. She was in music.
Yeah.
And we were in, animation, so we just couldn't see each other. I think if we were in the
That's
same major,
true.
we definitely would have been friends. Yeah. But she was really nice and really cool. She would like teach us sometimes about how she makes music, how she makes like games, and it was really interesting. She was a great singer and knew how to do piano really well.
She was like a double major
Aw.
as game design and music.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. She loved. That's what she loved. But she was cool, and I
She was
wish
very proactive too. Like she was already done with her game by like junior year.
she. That's why I liked her because she was proactive. She knew what she was talking about, and she was good at what
She knew what
did.
she wanted.
Yeah, I wish we could have stayed friends. I still have her on Instagram and stuff, but we never really
Cute.
became
I have her
friends.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could have
Aw.
became friends because she was so nice.
There was another girl that we didn't really click with, but like I appreciated her because she did really well in her classes. She was very creative, but like she was super nerdy. She had these glasses that would like amplify her eyes, like magnify her eyes. Like her eyes looked gigantic with her glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. I thought she was so unique looking. She was cute.
Unique looking.
Sorry, was that insulting?
It's insulting. Very
Depends how she
insulting.
wants to take it.
She was super nice. I really liked her.
There was only one other girl, two other girls that were in our major, that were both in animation, and they were both really nice. We didn't have much classes with them either. It was so unfortunate. The people we did like, I'll tell you later.
I mean, when did you meet them? Like in Gen Eds?
No, in our main classes, like
okay. Junior year.
they had the same classes as us. It just wasn't the exact class we were in, so it was a different time. We just weren't in the same class, but they had the same like classes to take because they were in animation. There was two of them, and both their final projects were so cute. Loved them both, and they were so nice. And like talking to them was always casual. Felt like people that I can actually connect
Yeah.
with. It was just mostly unfortunate for us. The people that we did like just weren't in the same class.
You didn't see them enough.
Yeah, I didn't see them enough to connect. And like I remember we once went to the movies with them once in their squad, and it was really fun. I love that.
What about you? You liked anyone?
I had maybe 3 friends, and I mean friends quotes in college. I remember my first semester, like our school set up like your first semester classes for you, so you didn't pick any of them. The same kids in every class.
Yeah.
So I just sat with the same girl. We'd go to lunch together. We'd go to all our classes. We'd skip together.
Love it.
Yeah. I never saw her again after that first semester. I mean, maybe like once in passing, but like after that first year, I never saw her again. Like sometimes I think about her. I have her on Snapchat. She'll post maybe once a year. I'm like, I'm glad she's still doing good. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she graduated, if she's still living here, but she was pretty chill. I have this other friend I met my second semester of the first year in like stats class. And we're still good. Like I have her on like IG, on Snapchat. Like she's pretty good. I like semi knew her boyfriend because he also went to our high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, like, I didn't interact with him.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
yeah.
but, like, she's
You
like,
saw
oh my
him.
God, you went there? I was like, yeah. So, so I would go to her house. She would come here. Like, we had this one semester, all the classes together.
Yeah.
Because every business major has to take, like, all the 300 level classes at the same time.
Yeah.
So we did that. I mean, she's pretty chill. I know she graduated. I hope she's doing good. She seems to be doing good. She's going out every night, basically.
yeah.
I mean,
Not
safe for COVID,
not
but
safe
like-
for COVID.
but like, listen,
do
she
you?
lived-
Do you?
Yeah, she living her best life.
That's your life, your health, whatever.
And then this other girl, she was a finance major, and like we didn't talk that much. I only like have her number. She was always nice to me. I was always nice to her. We took pictures at the graduation.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not really that social, but like I'm not like also bitter or like, gonna come crazy if you try to talk to me.
Yeah.
It's like very chill.
Yeah. I wish I could have like became like or more connected with them. I'm sure I still can reach out.
We drove the one girl home a lot because she lived like maybe 4 blocks away from us.
Yeah, she lived in the same town.
I missed my bus. Can you like take me
Yeah,
home?
Oh,
you know
damn,
that
the
bus,
bus.
Yeah, you know she don't got a car. She has a
Yikes.
bus. That's unfortunate.
Because we had a bus stop right next to our
Yeah, and
college.
she lived close to us, and I didn't mind. You know, she was struggling with because she was a year older than us.
Yeah.
So she was struggling with her senior project, and that is a struggle. It's a lot. We struggled as well, but she was struggling, and I felt bad because I'm like, oh my god, like you need some help. I literally don't live that far from you, and I don't really mind. I got a car. It's not the cleanest, but I got a car.
Shit.
Yeah, she appreciated it. We did it a couple times. She's like,
Yeah.
"Thank you so much.
She's
Like,
really nice.
I'll help you out if you need or like whatever." I'm like, don't worry about it. This is like the way home anyway.
Yeah.
Aw.
I think you know, we did like were able to be friendly with a lot of people, but like there was some people that like I just couldn't connect with, especially
I don't want to get to know.
Yeah, like there
a
was
lot
some-
of the guys.
Like
yeah.
I was sad because I like making friends with girls.
I was trying to
and
fall in
guys.
love.
I wasn't trying.
Not having.
I just wanted to have like a diverse friend group with like males, females, you know, every other race. Whatever.
It's hard having guy friends.
It's so hard,
and
'cause
it's
they're
been
so
explained to
pretty.
us already.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know, like Jordan told us,
what
like
did he
he
say?
can't bring guy friends around us because they just look at you like in a sexual way, not in like a friend way.
Oh yeah.
But even my brother told me that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Jordan called me the other day.
Oh no. Side story.
and he told me, he's like, "Hey, yo, guess what? So I'm gonna give you a scenario." I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" He's like, "So you know how the usual question goes is that how do you always get all these bitches?" That's the usual question.
Someone asked him that?
So, like,
To Jordan?
he apparently gets that question a lot.
Because he hangs out with a lot of girls, that's why.
No,
He's saying bitches, but he sees all.
Okay.
no,
Like
no.
on Snapchat, like
No.
you'll see like 5 females.
No, I'm telling you, he said that he gets asked that question. How does he get that many bitches?
Who's
I
asking
don't
him
know,
that?
the bitches.
I don't know. But
The
he said,
foreign kids as his roommate? Like who?
he said he's like, that's what the question I always get asked. But I got thrown off because my one guy coworker, he came up to him. He's like, "How do you get all these girlfriends?" And he's like, "Oh, you gotta be just, gotta be like a person, be nice, and then you gotta
Be a
like,
person.
Like, and he's like, you gotta like kind of go in, be very kind, and slowly ask them on a date. And the guy coworker's like, no, I mean like friends that are girls. How do you get that? You have so many. And Jordan told me, he's like, I actually like was so shocked when he asked me that. He's like, because he
I mean,
never
that's a
gets
great
that type of
question.
question.
That's a great
Yeah,
question.
he's like, a guy has never asked me has never brought up the fact that I have that many girlfriends, like female friends that are female friends, and he's like, it threw me off. I didn't know how to answer him. I had no answer. He's like,
It just happened.
He's like, I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. Because he's like, I never really thought about it. It just kind of happened. Like the friends I make just so happen to be girls, and then I also have a bunch of dude friends.
He does.
He has a very half and half. A lot of
He can mix well.
He has
like
so
different
many friends.
social
He's
groups.
very
Yeah.
outspoken. He's very friendly. So like, and he doesn't give off a vibe that's like, I want to get with you.
Yeah. And that's the big thing. Don't give me the vibe that you're trying to fuck me from the get. Can I just talk?
And he was telling me, he's like, I just didn't know how to answer. I'm like, I couldn't answer. I'm like, Jordan, maybe you could just do this. And we were just talking about it. Like, maybe you could tell him this. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to him. Tell him I talked to one of my
be a person.
He's like, I'm gonna tell him I talked to one of my friends that are girls, and I'm gonna give him this feedback because I couldn't give
my
him any
God.
feedback.
No, he just didn't say anything to him. He just said, I don't know.
He told me,
Oh, no.
he told him, you just kind of not come crazy. You just gotta not come crazy at them.
Exactly.
And just treat them like they're less a person.
Don't be in my DMs at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, just don't do it.
Yo, when we talk,
Send me memes.
for real,
Exactly.
like just like casual.
That's what I was telling him. Like, you know what, Jordan? Like, it makes sense why you have so many female friends because
He's
when you
chill.
talk to someone, you're like, oh, you like that thing? I like that
You
thing
treat them
too.
as a person.
Would you like to go smoke? Would you like to go to this bar thing we're doing or something? Or
You want to go out to eat?
Yeah,
like,
he invites you not just one-on-one. Like a bunch of people, like we're doing this. It's
Like
gonna
a
be really
group.
fun. You can do you. I'm not gonna pressure you.
Of
but like,
course.
he makes you feel like comfortable.
He made up a good point. He's like, some of these guys, they're like, oh, they like hang out with a girl, and they're like, oh, they maybe go out to eat to like fast food, and they're like, oh, I don't have money. The girl would be like, I don't have money, I can't go. And he'd be like, oh, I'll spot you. And he's like, the problem is that guys will do it every single time because they're girls. For me, if I do it once, I'll do it once. But if it's the second time,
I'm not gonna do
you're
it
a
every
broke
single
ass
time.
bitch. What's
That's
wrong with you?
You could watch me eat. Like,
And I was like, Jordan, you're so right, because you give me shit. I think guys don't know how to be friends with girls because they're afraid of giving them shit.
Yeah, you have to be real for girl.
I guess.
I mean, and but there's a lot of mean bitches that are like, how you gonna treat me, a girl, like that?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
you, bitch. You're entitled. Shut the fuck
We're
up.
people.
Yeah, so like that's how I had problems with like guys in school because they would come up and be like, "Hey, arms open, ready for a hug." I'm like, "Oh, I don't really like that. I'm not gonna hug you.
Don't touch me.
I think for specifically girls, like they don't want to be touched, and Jordan's like, "Yeah, like girls don't want to be touched, and guys are too handsy."
I don't want someone to act like they're so familiar with me from the get. Don't act familiar with me. I don't know. You're literally a stranger to me.
And that's what I was telling my Jordan.
Be
I
aware of
know you're
that.
trying to get your jollies off by this hug, and you know it.
And I was telling Jordan, like, Jordan, you know what? You're so right because a lot of times it's like they have like this motive and like
Yes,
and
no
Yeah,
motive.
it's obvious.
And
Yeah,
girls,
it's obvious.
girls are always
We're perceptive.
girls are always over analyzing things. So it's like if you give me shit, treat me like a person. It's like, oh, you're not trying to get anything from me. You're treating me like a person.
Do you know how high the rape like ratio from women? Do you know how much women get kidnapped? I need to be like psycho aware.
I have a taser and pepper spray.
Yeah, I have to be.
I should get one.
I have to be constantly aware because of those dangers. And if you come with any slight motive like that vibe, the second the fact that if I feel that vibe even a little bit, I'm leaving.
out.
I'm
Yeah,
leaving.
I'm out.
I'm leaving. I don't
Gone.
feel safe.
I'm telling everybody where I am. Like,
Sharing my location.
that's what I did when I used to go on those dates. I'd tell everyone I'm here. I'm at this location, this time, this place. If I am not calling you by this time, like something happened.
Let's try talking about our favorite experiences in college. What's your favorite, Melanie?
Graduating, being done.
Cold.
I can't remember the day. It was like May 12th, May 13th. I was done. That was my last day. I just had to sit in the Zoom class, present my ugly sculpture, and that was it. I was done. I graduated.
I wish we could have experienced that.
I think what would have been the best experience was that for our final project we would all make our own movies, our own animations, and we were gonna present it in like this big little theater they had at the school.
I remember that, yeah.
And they were gonna bring like, oh, you can bring all your friends and everything, and I felt like that would have been my favorite experience at college, but I couldn't do it because of COVID.
I got cheated out.
So like now, when I think about my favorite moments, I don't think I have any. Because like I was waiting for that moment.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that moment where we could just present, even if I wasn't proud of it.
Yeah.
Just to
premiere my movie.
to
Yeah,
premiere
yeah.
it with everyone and just have people clapping. And I think it's not. Yeah, no.
Because even now, like when we finish the project, you have to submit them to film festivals. That's one of the requirements. And I wanted to do it for myself anyway. I got accepted to a bunch of them. I could have went to real places where it was shown.
Could have been like a day, an event.
I couldn't go to any of them. I got accepted to the six different film festivals.
Hell
I couldn't
yeah.
go to a single one. And those would have been my favorite experiences, but I couldn't experience them because everything was virtual.
It's because like everything was building up to that moment. So it's like I knew that was gonna be.
You
my
knew for
favorite.
like 4 years,
Exactly.
Other than like maybe snow tubing, that was really fun.
That was fun.
But we didn't really hang. And
Not at the college.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it was-
off site.
there wasn't really much. I think our standing ovation moment got taken away from us.
I mean, I thought it was cute, the little Zoom thing where they showed all your guys' videos, and we all got to see it in our own house.
It had a different
I know it was
impact.
cute. I know it was different, but
And I had to edit them all together, so I was also working. So I wasn't even like just sitting back and waiting. I had to edit them all, and I was a little bit stressed.
The teacher gave the responsibility to like piece everyone's pieces together and to one of us, and no one was stepping up, and I didn't want to hear this conversation. So my sister and me volunteered to like just edit it all together. So at the very like to the last second we were editing on it.
Yeah,
It
so I didn't get really a break to like soak it in.
Y'all
Yeah.
did too much.
We did.
We did too much.
Yeah.
And then everything else got taken away.
Which
But
is sad. But like I liked my college experience, but it's
Yeah.
just like
I wouldn't say I regretted it. I did not regret it.
yeah, I definitely had good moments, but you know, I can't think of outstanding ones.
Yeah, I think
Like
don't
just
blame you.
graduating,
Yeah.
even getting my diploma was a fucking hassle.
Yeah, but I think we have so much to say. I feel
Yeah,
like we wrote down a lot of questions that we didn't get to answer.
we did.
Honestly, it's a fun conversation to reminisce and just
Yeah.
think
There's a
back
lot
it.
to go through.
Yeah, like we have a lot of college experiences, and definitely
4
we can make like
years.
a part 2. Yeah, 4 years of
Yeah.
just so much. Even when we're talking, I was thinking about more things. Like, oh my
Yes.
god, this happened. This happened.
Yeah.
Especially in high school, we had so many high school.
Oh my God,
experiences.
That's
should do a high
that's
school one,
different.
come
I can't remember that. You know, I can only remember senior year. You know that.
I would love to do a high school one.
Yeah.
You know, we could bring our yearbook and try to like piece it
I
together.
might still have it. I don't know.
I have mine.
We have 2.
Yeah, so we can look at it.
So we'll end this podcast here. Thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for watching us if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next video / episode.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
guys.